अज्ञानतिमरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जना शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः. Welcome, dear devotees, those who are watching us on Facebook, as well as those who are joined us on Zoom over here. And we are going to start reading from Bhagavad Gita. We're continuing on with chapter 16. And welcome, Arati Mataji. Good to see you. She's from the East Coast here. Hemla Patel Mataji, Dilip Bhai Patel Prabhu, and Vidyavadu Mataji watching us on Facebook. And I'm going to start sharing my screen with you momentarily so that you can have a look at what we're going to read, as well as you can know the reading order. So, Vindhyavali Mataji, can you tell me the reading order? Can you read it?
Yes, Mataji, Vindhyavali Mataji, Sadhana Mataji, Sutapa Mataji.
Slowly. Others are listening. Yeah, go.
Vindhyavali Mataji, Sadhana Mataji, Sutapa Mataji, Sukomla Radhe Mataji, Varshana Mataji, Simi Mataji, Archana Mataji.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much. And then will you do us the honors of reading from chapter 16, the first two translations?
Sure, Mataji.
All right, here we go.
Chapter 16, the divine and demoniac natures. Text 1 to 3. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self-control, performance of sacrifice, study of the Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault-finding, compassion for living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, and freedom from envy and from the passion of honor for honor. These transcendental qualities, O son of Bharata, belong to godly men endowed with divine nature. The text 4, pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, and ignorance. These qualities belong to those of demonic nature, O son of Prita. Hare Krishna, Sadhana Mataji.
Thank you. The transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, whereas the demonic qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, O son of Pandu, for you are born with the divine qualities. Text 6. O son of Pratha, in the world there are two kinds of created beings. One is called divine and the other demonic. I've already explained to you at length the divine qualities. Now hear me of the demonic.
I'm good.
Go ahead, Sadhana.
Sutapa Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Take 7. Those who are demoniac do not know what is to be done and what is not to be done. Neither cleanliness nor proper behavior nor truth is found in them. Text 8. They say that this world is unreal with no foundation, no God in control. They say it is produced of sick desire and has no cause other than lust. Shukuman Radhe Mataji.
Thank you. Text 9. Following such conclusions, the demoniac who are lost to themselves and who have no intelligence engage in unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy the world. Text 10. Taking shelter of insatiable lust and absorbed in the conceit of pride and false prestige, the demoniac, thus illusioned, are always sworn to unclean work, attracted by the impermanent. Varshana Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much. They believe that to gratify the senses is the prime necessity of human civilization. Thus, until the end of life, their anxiety is immeasurable, bound by the network of hundreds of thousands of desires and absorbed in lust and anger, they secure money by illegal means for sense gratification. Text 13 to 15. The demoniac person thinks, so, so much wealth do I have today, and I will gain more according to my schemes. So much is mine now, and it will increase in the future more and more. He is my enemy, and I have killed him. And my other enemies will also be killed. I am the Lord of everything. I am the enjoyer. I am perfect, powerful, and happy. I am the richest man surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful and happy as I am. I shall perform sacrifices. I shall give some charity, and thus I shall rejoice. In this way, such persons are deluded by ignorance. Hare Krishna. Simi Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Thus the text 16. Thus the perplexed by various anxieties and bound by a network of illusions, they become too strongly attached to sense enjoyment and fall down into hell. Self complacent and always impudent, deluded by wealth and false prestige, they sometimes proudly perform sacrifices in name only without following any rules or regulations. Archana Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Text 18. Bewildered by false ego, strength, pride, lust, and anger, the demons become envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated in their own bodies and in the bodies of others, and blaspheme against the real religion. Text 19. Those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among men, I perpetually cast into the ocean of material existence, into various demonic species of life. Hare Krishna. Vindhyavali Mataji.
Text 20. Attaining repeated birth amongst the species of demoniac life. O son of Kunti, such persons can never approach me. Gradually they sink down to the most abominable type of existence. Text 21. Mataji, can you scroll a little bit, please?
Yes, I was scrolling myself on the sofa first.
Sorry. Text 21. There are three gates leading to this hell: lust, anger, and greed. Every sane man should give these up, for they lead to the degradation of the soul.
Text 22. The man who has escaped these three gates of hell, O son of Kunti, performs acts conducive to self-realization and thus gradually attains the supreme destination. Text 23. He who discards spiritual injunctions and acts according to his own whims attains neither perfection nor happiness nor the supreme destination.
Text 24. One should therefore understand what is duty and what is not duty by the regulations of the scriptures. Knowing such rules and regulations, one should act so that he may gradually be elevated. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Hari Bol. All right, so happy time, reflection time.
Mataji, one more time, that 11 and 12, Mataji.
All righty, so what's there in 11 and 12?
They believe that to gratify the sense is a prime necessity of human civilization. Thus, until the end of life, their anxiety is immeasurable, bound by a network of hundreds of thousands of desires and absorbed in lust and anger. They secure money by illegal means for sense gratification.
Mhm. So tell me, Mataji.
I don't know, Mata. The demoniac accept the enjoyment of the senses as the ultimate goal of life. No, no, that's not the thing. And this concept they maintain until death. So they won't change in between.
The demoniacs. Where, yeah.
Demon.
Yeah, unless somebody.
Mataji, can I say something?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, Mataji, in recent one of the corporate lectures by Vaisheshika Prabhu, there was one lady, when Maharaj showed a slide with the, the horses with the face of senses, and then the driver and the person sitting in the back and is like kind of crying and uncomfortable. Then one lady asked this question. She said that, I don't like this picture. Why that passenger is crying? I mean, isn't enjoying the senses as something which we are supposed to do? So I could just relate to this thing. And but then again, I'm thinking that, I mean, she didn't seem to be a demoniac person, but it's just that I think she has this concept was so new because this is how she grew up, knowing that senses are only for the enjoyment. And that's what we have been reading, that like, those people keep thinking till end, that this is what senses are supposed to do.
Yeah.
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 Do you
So
think?
it's about, yeah, go ahead, Sadhana Mataji.
Yeah, I was going to say. I think the word demoniac is very appropriate, but I think it translates quite harshly into the world, because so many people are, if you like, in that illusion, and the metaphor I think it's used in the Bhagavad Gita is of the two birds, right? It's sitting on a tree. One is the super soul, and the other is the soul pecking at the fruits,
Mm-hmm.
and continues to peck at the fruits, but doesn't realize what's on the other side, waiting. And and I think majority of the world is caught in that trap. And this demoniac, the word demoniac is referring quite harshly to that person, who's basically picking fruits while Krishna is waiting for them. So that was my sort of take on the use of the word and the meaning. Srila Prabhupada paints it quite harshly, I think, because he wants to show it in its true light as it is. So so it does come across harshly, but like Priyanka Mataji said, the examples are, sorry, my son is texting. So the example Priyanka Mataji gave is I was at the session, so most people don't even realize it, like this lady. So the bird is looking away, right? That metaphor, the one I mean, it's from the Upanishad. There's two birds sitting on the tree.
Suparno, yes, Dwal Suparno,
Yeah.
two birds, yeah.
And that, I think that verse describes it much better in some level of the unknowingness of the bird that's pecking, so
Yeah.
which is many of us even still.
Exactly. Now, one of the things to keep in mind, and again, it goes back to the question that we asked about. Um, um, I think Sukamal Radhe Mataji was asking me that question after the class. She was texting me and she was asking, so do the children who are born, is it also because of karmic reaction that we have this one as my son and daughter and not that one, like that? And I was saying, like, it's everything, not only the son and daughter, even the spouse, and even the dog that you bring into your home. So this, now one of the things is that you notice that he's just saying, he's talking about a divine and demoniac, right? This particular chapter is talking about divine and demoniac natures. They are not particularly saying that you're a demon, right? It's just that we have these tendencies to behave like demons. And one of the tendency of the demons, one of the behavior of the demons is that they want to enjoy separate from Krishna. They don't accept Krishna, right? They want to be controllers. So when we exhibit those kind of behaviors, and so there can be sweet little demons also, right? I mean, they're very sweet. They're very nice. In so many ways, they are so very nice. But because of that inner innate flaw that they are trying to enjoy without bringing in Krishna. And so when Vaisheshika Prabhu conducts these kind of sessions, it is like, bringing people from an unconscious stage immediately to the conscious stage. Like the lady did not even know that it is her thing it's not her thing to enjoy, but there's a higher meaning to the life. And conversely, the demons are thinking that because I am a human being, it is my prerogative to enjoy. And in the process of enjoyment, if I have to kill animals, if I have to cut down trees, whatever I have to do, and give grief to Mother Nature, I will do that. That's what the demonic personality thinks. Whereas the divine personality thinks, those with that trait, they think, I have got the human body. Atato Brahma Jigyasa. Now that I've got a human body, I need to pursue devotional service over there. So now when we say that, okay, this person did not know. Why? Because was born in a family where the parents were not spiritual, so nobody guided them, right? But we have to understand this thing, that yesterday we did that verse from Shrimad Bhagavatam, where it says, Deva Netrena, under the guidance of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, a soul goes into a particular womb. So why did that lady, or any lady for that matter, or a gent for that matter, gets born in a family where he's not, told by default about Krishna consciousness, is coming from his own desires and from his own karma from the past it's coming, right? Now it could also happen that, that you had some desires, and those desires have to be fulfilled, right? And so you fulfill the desire for some part, and some part of your life goes away in that. And then after that, either a book comes into your life, or a devotee walks into your home, or a calamity comes into your life. Either of the cases, then you, like the birds that Sadhana Mataji was talking about, then like that second bird, you turn your face towards Krishna. And then after that, if you choose to listen, then there is good news, and there is, happiness for you, like that. So Vindhyavali Mataji, on that verse that you picked up about the demoniac people. So that's what they do, right? So that's what they're just thinking, that I'm a human being. And because this thing of that, I want to enjoy for myself. And when you want to do something for yourself, because we love ourselves, we have to accept that we love ourselves. And so whenever there is a slight dimmer of, like, even a little light there that says that, hey, there is a chance that you will not get what you're hoping for, the anxiety grows. And because my sole purpose in life is to enjoy, then till I die, that anxiety will always be there. And of course, it will even get carried to the next life, because desires are not fulfilled. So that's what
Somebody, when somebody tells also they won't change, Mataji,
it
till
depends.
they die, they will.
It depends on how strong the desires are. Do you tell everybody changes? Does it happen? No.
That is frustrating, Just try to tell. They don't change, whether I am
It
wrong
should not be
or they are
frustrating.
wrong.
It should not be frustrating to you, because I'll tell you why. These are very subtle things that we discuss in these classes, right?
I-
Right? So why should it be frustrating to you? Because you are expecting a result out of that. You are expecting a result that I'm telling the person about
Okay.
Krishna consciousness. He should become Krishna conscious. He doesn't become Krishna conscious. I become frustrated. So I also had a desire. Yesterday we talked so much about this whole world is situated on desires. That's why Krishna says very powerful verses. And now what we are doing in this session, like all of you have read the Bhagavad Gita 16 times, 17 times, 20 times. And each time that we go and read it, we go deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper. And you'll be surprised at how often we go back to the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. I mean, first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, nobody even ever gave any lot of importance to it. I mean, what's there in the first chapter? Where's the bhakti? Where's the yoga? Nothing is there. It's Arjuna crying. But I tell you what, we all are Arjunas, and we all cry all the time, like that, right? With our attachments, with our anxieties, and with our imperfect vision. Because of all that, we just keep on trying, like that. So yes, it is a fact. It is a fact. And it is a preacher's it's a preacher's life, that you come and you teach, and you spend so much of time and energy, and the persons are going there on Krishna consciousness. They're walking on the path of Krishna consciousness, and then one fine day they're gone. and they go on for 20 years and then they come back like that, or maybe never come back, because that 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 desire is so strong and mind is so strong. And that's why what we try to do is then we believe in the power of prasadam, because everybody likes to eat. They won't get it from here through the ears, they won't get it, but they'll get it through the tongue. That's why I say, Sevan mukho hi jivyado, athashi Krishna namadi na bhaved grahim indriye, Sevan mukho hi jivhadao, swam ev svatyada. So you have to first serve the Lord through your tongue through two ways. One way is that you honor prasadam, and the second way is that you glorify the Lord. When you have had sufficient prasadam in your body, you are fueled enough to be able to glorify the Lord. Then things will properly fall in place. Otherwise, it will not. There's a time for everybody to take to Krishna consciousness. There's a time for everybody. And I'll tell you some very uh, interesting story that Vaishya Prabhu tells us. And that is, I think he was in Chicago or Ohio, I don't know which one, but he was at one of the airports where he used to distribute books with one of his other, God sibling or another devotee. And both of them were very young boys and lean and slim. Um, and there was this security guard at the airport, and he would just make snide remarks at them both. Things like, you don't have a job, go get a job. And so whenever they would give a book to somebody and ask for donation, and they would say, okay, you know what, um, um, you can give whatever comes from your heart. Even a penny is fine. That's a standard line that we use. So he used to use that line, and that security guard, he would take a penny from his, from his pockets, and he would throw a penny at them and say, "Hey, you want a penny? Take a penny." And so these, both of them, they used to, because they are divine in nature, they would bend down, pick up the penny, thank that security guard, and put it in his pocket. And this insult went on day after day after day after day. Every day it happened like that. Every day they would do the same thing, pick up the penny, thank him, put it in a pocket, and then deposit it in the temple hundi, or, at the end. And one fine day, this, and they had named him Aristashura, because of his demonia. They used to call him, "Hey, Aristashura is coming. Hey, Aristashura is coming." So one day, Aristashura comes, and then he hugs both of them, and he says, "You are the only one who is doing. This is the only thing that people should be doing. This is the best thing that you're doing in life." And afterwards, he says that Aristashura actually became their guardian. And if anybody else in the airport ever wanted to complain about them, then he would come in and he would take their sides. So what happened? Why did Aristasura have this change of heart? So to be able to come to a particular level and to be able to appreciate Krishna, you need certain qualifications. And giving donations and getting some sukriti is one of them. So he was, even if he was giving donation, like it was charity in the mode of ignorance, he was throwing a penny at them. Charity in the mode of ignorance, we'll talk in the subsequent chapters. Even if he was throwing a penny at them, these two devotees were so nice that they would pick up the penny and they would put it in their pocket and offer it to the Lord. And that way he got whatever little was remaining in that demon, whatever little was remaining, he fulfilled all that, and then he had a change of heart immediately. And it has to happen immediately. The moment you reach your qualification, you are in by default, as if it's a computer system that's constantly monitoring. And when you reach that age, for example, in offices, computer systems are programmed that, okay, when it is your birthday, automatically an email comes to you wishing you they reached that state. Now you deserve a congratulations for your birthday. Similarly, like that, also it happens here. There's another very interesting story, which is about, again, they were two ISKCON, not ISKCON, but in our parampara, these two devotees used to go door to door and beg. And so one day they were begging, they went begging and knocked at the door or called out. And so the couple inside were having a fight. Husband and wife, both of them were having a big fight. And so when this knocked, they asked, like, who is it? And they said, no, we are from such and such, and we are looking for this. And they, both of them were in such an angry mood. And so then the wife said, I don't have anything except for the ashes which are there from this fire, for cooking. There were some ashes. Go give the ashes to them. Husband was also very angry because they were so fighting. So they were angry at everybody, including Krishna. And now they see Krishna's representative standing at the door. So they said, okay, let's give him the ashes. So they go out and dump the ashes into his begging bowl. And so these people, they took the ashes back to the temple and gave it to the priest to polish the deities. He washed the deities, he cleaned the deities with ashes. He gave them the ashes to clean, right? And then after a year later, they come back again. They were again going begging again. Later, this door opens and these people fall at their feet and begging. And they say, I don't know what happened, but ever since a few days ago or a few months ago, this strange thing has come up over us and we have taken to Krishna consciousness. So this is how devotees come into other people's life and convert demons into. So yes, there is hope. There is hope, and there's hope, which is there's hope, but the devotee will not cling on to that. They will say, okay, I went there to preach and I got ashes in return. This was Krishna's mercy. Let me again use it back in the service of Krishna. And so he went there and started using the ashes. So that's how, as you go deeper and deeper, our mood, our reactions to things and all that, they change. They change over a period of time, and you start looking at the same thing, and you go back and look at the Bhagavad Gita also in a very different light as you start going inside. And that's why I was saying, who was it who was saying yesterday? I think it was Shruti Priya Mataji was saying that I am seeing some similarities. What you see. And I was like, wow. The first time that I read this chapter, Vidyavadhu is there on Facebook watching me. The first time that I did that, Vidyavadhu Mataji, I called her and I said, I think I'm a demon, and I think you are also. I should
Really,
have
really, it's really Mataji for me, because I kept on telling, but same thing is happening and I'm not able to convince or tell anything. So how to do that?
No, so see, here's the thing. Here's this thing that happens in book distribution also. Try to give a book, the person doesn't take the book, or you give the book, person doesn't read it. Again, it is my desire, and I want to control the process. I want to say, I give you a book, why are you not reading it? No, that book is not meant for him. It's all part of Krishna's plan. 10 years later, a grandchild will be born. The child will pick up the book and read it. So we try to make our own plans. Better we start aligning with Krishna's plan. And one way of aligning with Krishna's plan is to understand when things do not happen our way. When things do not happen our way is the time to understand that Krishna's plan is going this way and we are actually going this way. That is the problem, right? So we have to align. The sooner we align Krishna's plan, the less problems are going to happen to us.
I have to change myself then. I have to. So, but when I distributed books, I didn't. Nothing happened, and everybody. I was so happy. Whatever 2.5 boxes or something I distributed, I felt so happy, and I took and chanting carried the books, and I gave, and nothing happened to me. But at some places, with my friends or somebody relatives, it happened like that. So I feel so bad, and I'm telling, it's not happening. What am I doing wrong? Like you said, and I have to change myself.
Yes.
That's it.
That is all it is. And I always tell, one of the things I also tell them, because I get so many, so many times I have devotees come and tell me that my spouse is not becoming a devotee.
Oh yeah.
Biggest problem we have.
My
spouse is not becoming a devotee. Now, you don't know that the problem is with you. And the problem, I'm not saying you, Vindhyavali, but I'm just saying in general. The problem is with you, but you as a person, general. The problem is with you. You have problems with tolerating. So Krishna has planted a spouse like that next to you so that in this lifetime you will learn how to tolerate like that. So as soon as we keep on looking, that's why we say we have to look inside. And one of the things I always tell them, why did they not listen? Now you see, when Vaisheshika Prabhu goes to, I have noticed this so many times, and I just, sometimes in a lighter mood, I always tell my Maharaj that you're like the Pied Piper. You know the story of the Pied Piper? The one who would play the flute, and all the children of the village followed him like that. And then the kids of ISP really look like that. I mean, there was a time when he would sit in his car and his car would start moving out of the temple. The kids would follow, like, 30, 40 kids are following him like that. So Alvi used to say that, that you are like Pied Piper, see how you attract. And then the thing is that, how come he attracts? And how come, when I leave the temple, nobody follows me? Maybe they'll be happy she's gone. So you never know. Why is it like that? Same thing happens with our spouses and our children and, close neighbors.
Yeah.
Is why are they not listening to me? Well, because you're not Vaisheshika Prabhu. and what I mean by that is that you're not a good enough magnet. Because in this same country, Srila Prabhupada came and look at what he did, right? We have not even done even this much of what he did at that age, right age. So in order for us to be able to distribute books properly, the first law of book distribution says, what does it say? First law of book distribution?
Do your chanting properly.
Yeah, your sadhana must be strict and sincere. First, your sadhana has to be strict and sincere. First, we should be getting joy in devotional service. First, we should reach a stage where we find so much of joy in devotional service that we want to distribute it to others. That we are ourselves convinced that devotional service is the right way to go. And then we are, we want to give that joy to others. In as much as if you find a new ice cream parlor today, you'll go and WhatsApp to all your friends and tell them that, hey, there's a new ice cream parlor. Did you try out that new flavor? It's amazing, avocado lemon ice cream or whatever. I just made it up. So like that. So so our that we should be overflowing. That gratitude should be overflowing from us. That happiness overflows from us. And then when that is happening, automatically people will take books from you. Automatically people will become attracted to you. Automatically they'll you go there. All that we have to do is, in order to attract these iron filings, you have to become a powerful magnet. And that's all.
I never did book distribution, but in our cooking prasadam, when I do in the temple also, I just enjoy a lot. If I just offer the prasadam for the Krishna, and then if anybody, people come and take in this temple also, we used to enjoy a lot, Mataji. Wholeheartedly, I never felt that if I didn't eat also, I don't feel that. But I just want to see people, whenever they say it is good, I say, Krishna is telling me through you. That's how I felt. But this book distribution, I never did like that. But that's what I want to be. Whoever I'm telling, they have to feel like that. But sometimes I'm not successful in that.
And that's fine. It is okay. I'll also tell this thing to others about success and failure, is that there will be some failures, and we are destined to some failures that's going to happen in our life till success comes. For example, it could be there in your destiny that there 20 people are going to reject books from you over a period of days, right? Till you distribute a Srimad Bhagavatam to somebody, right? And so whenever there's a failure, I just take it as, okay, fine. Number one, there was one failure, destined, gone, done, right? Let's learn what happened. What did I do wrong? How could I have improved it? But now there are only, n minus one left for me. And then the second failure comes, n minus two, n minus three, till you get to n minus n, right? And that's where. So keep on praying to Krishna, and every Teri Marzi, O Data, Teri Marzi. There's a very famous song in India. Right? It was your will, O Lord. And that is called surrender. 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 This is your. And it requires it's not easy. It's easily said on a 7 o'clock call, but to live it, after 8 o'clock or prior to that is a difficult thing. And that's why we need the strength of the scriptures. We need the strength of our sadhana, and we need the strength of association of devotees to be able to do that, right? That's why we keep on coming and we keep on,
Thank you very much for telling me, Mataji. I'll try to.
You're welcome. Yes.
Mataji, there is, so there is one quality, means on divine quality, that is performance of sacrifice. So three things that we should not give up. One is the sacrifice, other is charity and austerity. So two things I understood, but Mataji, nowadays in day-to-day life, what kind of sacrifice are we doing? Means, are we really doing anything?
What sacrifices are we doing every day? Tell me, somebody else.
Because sacrificing means it's written in Bhagavatam that it is yoga.
So what yagya do we do nowadays?
Chanting, Mataji.
Yes, I saw Sukomal Radhe Mataji also leaning forward. I think she wanted to say that.
Sankirtan.
Yagya, yes. So Sukomal Sudapa, it is Sankirtan Yagya. Sankirtan. Kirtan,
Okay.
chanting. Yeah. So yagya will happen in every yoga. It just it changes the shape, right? Because how can we do other types of yagya? You don't have the money, don't have the ingredients, don't have priests. So freezing gone.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, can I share one reflection today? I mean, I was reading verse number 5, and then I was just contemplating on that. I mean, for the first to four verses, Shri Krishna, Lord Shri Krishna, he's describing all the qualities of divine and demonic qualities he's describing. But in the fifth verse, he's giving us the consequences of both the qualities. Like
Yeah.
if he's having the divine quality, he is conducive to liberation, while on the other hand, if one is having demonic quality, he'll be it'll lead to material bondage. So Mataji, like if I consider myself and if I look onto the verses, not only in this chapter, in previous chapter also, like devotional service chapter 12, Krishna has said so many, saintly virtues which he loved to see in his devotee. And when I see myself, I personally feel I don't have any. So, but I know Krishna is all merciful. He's all munificent. So I just sincerely pray to him, oh Krishna, you are my beloved Lord. However I am, like I have so many demonic qualities, but however I am yours. So will that help, Mataji? Because uh, if we think our mind intelligence will help us to attain those divine qualities, I don't think so it's possible. So if we sincerely surrender to the Lord lotus feet and say, Krishna, I'm helpless, you can only help me in attaining these qualities. Like just like as a mother, I feel, Mataji, when a small kid, a newborn, he or she is dirty, mother, she cleans everything, right? And then she accepts her kid. Same way, if we are all dirty in our mind and intelligence everywhere, but Krishna is all transcendental. So if we consider him as our true mother, he is our real mother, then we'll also be cleansed of all this material contamination, Mataji. So
Good, yeah. It's a good situation to be in, and a good platform to be in while you're pursuing devotional service, to still not think and that I possess all these good qualities and feel happy about it. You notice that our acharyas in our lineage, they actually write poems which will think like, what's going on in their mind, right? Like Narottam Das Thakur writes, Mausama Patita Prabhu Nahi Tribhuvane. So he says, there is nobody more fallen like I am.
Yeah.
So so that's something that's the kind of mood that we should also create, because unless and until we don't have that mood, then there's a dangerous of developing a demoniac quality, which is mentioned in text number 4. And I'll quickly bring up text number 4 from here, so that it says pride, arrogance, conceit. So these things are going to develop in us if we start thinking that, oh wow, I can make a checklist, I can create a spreadsheet, and I can start checking this. Oh, fearlessness, yes. Purification, yes. Cultivation, spiritual knowledge. Oh yeah, I did the Bhakti Shastri. Charity. Oh yes, I gave so much of donation. I can keep on doing that, right? So when you really sit down and come to that in that to that level of your consciousness, where we are saying that I'm still lacking something, and you also stay there as a helpless person. Like if you stand there as a helpless person, what do you do? I mean, look at I'm going to tell you the American health system, right? So if you're earning money, then you're supposed to buy health insurance for yourself. If you don't earning money, what do? The government takes care of you. You're helpless.
Yeah, helpless.
you get, you'll get some,
That's what Krishna
right? That's Krishna. If you be
will take care
helpless, and if the crying comes from your heart, he's there in the heart as a soul. He sees that the real, he'll do that. But it's a nice thing to feel, and that's why they cry. And if you look at Bhakti Vinod Thakur, his poems, he's like, you might just think that he's the most, he's the worst person on the world when you hear his own things. But the reason is not that they are bad. It's just that humility is so much in them that even if they see slight little thing, for example, who was it? Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj, when he was 5 years old. He was a boy, 5 years old. And his father, who's Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was getting ready to do the deity worship. And then the servant brought some mangoes, and obviously child and mango. So he took some mangoes and he ate them. And then his father said that, oh, you ate those mangoes, but they were not yet offered to the Lord. You shouldn't have eaten them. And this 5-year-old boy said, for the rest of my life, I will not have mangoes. And for the rest of his life, he did not have mangoes, right? So
Oh,
that feeling is there from them. And of course, Bhaktivinoda Saraswati Thakur, we know, is a very, very, very exalted personality. So even when they see that they did just a little mistake, what a severe punishment he took on himself. And those punishments are, it's not that, you also have to remember that when these exalted personalities come to this material world, they're actually coming here to teach us something, right? So the Leelas. So this is part of Bhaktivinoda Saraswati Thakur's Leela, that he's telling us that, if you do things like that, then we should show some repentance to the Lord. And the biggest repentance, like you can see, Archana Mataji, um, emotional, thing. So you see that when that repentance comes from the heart, then tears will flow automatically. Otherwise, they won't flow, they won't come. You become so hard-hearted. And so there's a glorification of the holy name in the Shrimad Bhagavatam 11th canto, I think second chapter, verse 40. It says, Evam vrata swapriya nama kirtya jatanurago dhrit chitta uchchai hasati ati rodati roti gayati. I'm forgetting something like that. Lok bhaya. So what it says is that, ever since I've taken a vow to chant the holy names of the Lord, my hard heart has melted. Drutta chitta. Drutta chit means pighal gaya, liquid, molten heart. Drutta chitta. And now what is happening? That because of coming in contact with the holy name of the Lord, hasati ati rodati rati gayati. Sometimes he's happy, sometimes he's laughing, sometimes he's singing. And he doesn't even unmadaman nrityati lokabhaya. And then he's like unmad, he's completely in ecstasy. Unmad is ecstasy. And in ecstasy, he doesn't even care what the people from outside are doing. Like they are watching, and what am I doing? They don't care. They are in that state of ecstasy.
one day, same thing happened to me, Mataji, in Philadelphia. We went in a car, my daughter and myself, to the temple. And then they just hand out the prasadam outside itself. This is the first time that when they close the temple. So I just, when devotee came and then he was handing over the prasadam in a bag, my tears came like anything. I started crying. Then, 2, 3 people, devotees came from inside and they said, why are you crying? And I said, you know what? I came to the temple. In front of the temple, I am here sitting in the car. I cannot see the deities. So I just felt that day so much touching to me, and I cannot imagine that day. And later on, I was okay, but at that spur of the moment, I just started crying. I couldn't get into the temple and see, though I was in front of the temple.
That is what it is. That is what happens when you contemplate on objects. You get attached to those objects. That's what the verse is saying from the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. When you contemplate, you get attached. The same thing happens to deity worship also. When you contemplate so much, go to the temple, look at the Lord, what is he wearing today, what is the jewelry, all that. Then you get attached. And the day you are denied, then you start crying. Which is a good crying, because people cry for other things. People cry, they didn't get the promotion. People cry, they didn't get the car of the choice or the spouse of the choice. They cry all the time, right? But the real tears are the tears of separation from the Lord.
Separation. Yeah. So when I got these books, I just casually I told that Mataji, and I will try it my neighborhood. When I got the books, I said, okay, Krishna gave me little bit this devotional service, because I tried to go to the temple and do the prasadam cooking and everything, bhog, but I couldn't do. And I came from Philadelphia. There also, they are going Sundays, but I missed that. But at least Krishna said, just do this service. I felt little.
Anybody else would like to also share? reflection on any part, any other part, or on book distribution, or continuing on the same topic? Are we done and full?
So Mataji,
Mm.
with respect to Vindhyavali Mataji's points that she was expressing, that she was not able to distribute books. I was thinking that Krishna is actually looking at Mataji's intention, right? The intention, the sincere intention to distribute, and that is what is all that is needed from our part. Whether the person is accepting, the other person is accepting or not accepting, is its fate. His karma, and what Krishna has in store for them, right? We just do our part. And also I think as devotees, we sometimes get attached to our devotional service, that we expect that it needs to be successful in our own definition, that we expect that it has to be happening in certain way. And when it doesn't happen, that is again we get attached to the results, isn't it? That is how what I feel,
But I
that
never
we should
had
not
any
get.
book
Yeah.
distribution. But
Mhm.
when prasadam also, I used to cook prasadam, I used to enjoy more. This is the first time I went for book distribution. I
Right,
don't
right.
have any experience in that, but whatever books I distributed, I'm happy and everybody took it. Nobody rejected me.
Right.
That's what made
That
me.
is nice.
Yeah. So
But
Yeah,
as you were
that is
saying,
encouraging.
yeah. So as you were saying, Shruti Priya Mataji, that Krishna is there in the heart and he sees it. So Krishna is there in the heart and he sees that. Why is the devotee feeling happy from distributing books? Is he feeling happy that he's making Krishna happy? I'm distributing Krishna's words. Bhagavad Gita he told
yeah,
to Arjuna because he wanted not Arjuna to learn about it. Arjuna is already a devotee. He wanted us and
yeah.
others to learn about it. So I am instrument. I'm happy because Krishna chose me to be an instrument and I'm doing that. Or am I happy because I'm going to have a good book distribution score? Right? So he knows that
That's
inside the heart, right? And then the interest,
Right,
look at that, look at, and then your efforts, right? When you say that, okay, I'm going to put my efforts, and then Krishna will see my effort, but he also sees the thing behind it. Like, look at Draupadi, all the efforts that she was doing to hold on to her sari. Well, she was thinking, I can do it. My husband can do it. My grandfather can do it. He did not come to help. It's only when she threw up her hands and said, Krishna, help me, then Krishna helped. So he's seeing, he's Bhavgrahi, he's Nardan. He's looking at the intentions. He's constantly looking at the intention. If the intentions are good, like the little squirrel, Ramchandraji said,
yeah.
the squirrel is helping me build the bridge because he saw.
At first, I thought I cannot distribute these books, this many books, and I thought one or two books I can do. But those boxes, when I saw, I said, "How can I distribute?" And everything I took it with my hand only. I didn't drive. I didn't go in the car. That's what made me, that I was chanting, and I said, "Krishna, you just help me." That's what I did, and I'm so happy,
Yes,
which I could do.
very
That's
good,
all.
very good, right? Very good. And then as we go further and further, it's the mood changes, and then the language changes, and the person says that Krishna made me do it.
Yeah.
Krishna
right.
made me walk. Krishna made me walk with that. Now Mamazia Mataji has raised her hands, and we have 7 minutes before the call has to stop today. I have a really hard stop. There's a escalation going on at work. I just wiggled out of that and I said I have another meeting at 8 from 7. So Namazia
Very
Mataji.
fast. Something that you teach me, I remember in the beginning when you talked to me about distribution, I was like afraid and I was concerned, and then I started giving books to everybody, and then you told me, do you ask for donation? And I say, how can I ask for donation? I mean, that's embarrassing. How can I gonna go ask for? No, this is impossible. No, no, Mataji, how can I do that? And then I remember you sent me something from Guru Maharaj where he teach you how to do this kind of thing. And um, and now when I do distribution, I feel very I mean, it's impossible because I was thinking, there's no way I could ask, can I have a donation? Um, I do ask for donation, and everybody's happy to do that.
There you go.
That's good.
And and most of the distribution I do is because people ask me for the books, and I am like, what's happening?
Yeah.
And before I was afraid. So I just want to make a comment because I know Mataji being the Bali that in the beginning was very hard for me in Shraddha Mataji it really helped me to do that because it was for me to ask for money. It was in top of me. I mean, how can I ask for? It's like, that I'm a beggar or what? I remember I was telling you, this is not possible. How am I going to ask for money? And when I start asking for donation, it feels good. It feels good because we're helping to make more books and start giving to the whole world. So I just want to make that comment. Thank you.
Thank you so
Sorry.
much for bringing
That's-
that. And there are two things to keep in mind. So one is that you are, of course, you're helping the movement by bringing in the Lakshmi by asking that, but even for the reason why we ask. And so if you really wanted to bring the Lakshmi in and be able to purchase more book to distribute, then we should actually be asking them for the price of the book or the cost, whatever cost it took us, because up and until that cost is covered, how can we distribute it in a book? But we start with saying even 1 cent is enough. And the reason for that is why we do that is the second reason we distribute books. And the second reason we ask them for money is that when you ask them for the money, they are giving something to you. So now by your asking and by you going and suppressing your pride, which is verse number 4, suppressing your pride and becoming a beggar, right? Becoming a beggar, which is humility, it goes to Bhagavad Gita
Yeah.
12. You're moving from demonic to divine, right? Like that you're doing. And then you are helping somebody else gain some sukriti
Yeah.
and get some entitlement so that they can read, because the book can lay in your home. You can come and sit in a Bhagavad Gita class and not get anything out of it if you're not entitled to do it,
But
right?
I was telling them, Mataji, I said, there's a sticker I put on the book. These days we can't go to the temple. And if whichever way you want to do it, you can send it to the temple directly, or you can give it to me, I can pass it on. To write a check to temple's name and I can pass it on. So that's how I am telling, but I don't know how to ask. And I never had any
This is
experience
good.
like
Keep
this.
asking. Keep asking. It'll come.
So that's all I did. Anyway, thank you very much for telling me all those things, Mataji.
Thank
Now
you.
I'll try to do.
There you go. That's how the mood should be.
That's what devotees is, Mataji. That's what Shraddha Mataji is for.
The association, absolutely. Of those who are watching you on Facebook, also Neelam Mataji, Vijay Lakshmi Nair Mataji, Suraksha, which is our Sukham Mataji. Yeah, there you go. Now, today we didn't hear from some of the people, some of our regular speakers. So there are those who share our values. And so Varshana Mataji, you're very quiet today. What happened? We didn't hear
I
any.
took her time, full time.
You took her full time today? Okay.
Yeah.
I was listening, Mataji, listening to and I was just thinking that one should be really tolerant. And devotee has to be very, very
Yeah.
tolerating.
Yeah.
Yes, whatever may happen, let that happen. And you see, it should be, you should not see the result. Just think that I'm doing this service to Krishna and he is the controller. He will do what he has to do.
That is true.
So I leave it to him.
Like
I also
Mataji
saw,
said, he has
I,
some plan.
yeah, just 1 second. I also saw Aruni Mataji hold, and I have 1 minute. I just wanted to take her reflection there. Aruni was raising her hand, and I think she put it down because we didn't
Yeah,
allow her to speak.
talking here, but I just have, 2 points quickly. One is that about asking for money. That's one thing that I find very difficult to do. And I want to start by saying that I didn't start giving out books like because I'm not a distributor. I'm not good at this, but I just did this because you had this drive, and I just took a few books and to give out, to people nearby, and and I was told I didn't have to ask for money, so that was a relief for me. So I don't know if that's a sign of, ego, or I mean, I don't look at it that way. I didn't think of it that way, but when you brought it up, I'm just wondering about that. it's not because I feel I'm afraid they'll reject it. It's just something innate in me, and if it's ego, so be it. I don't know. But the other thing I wanted to say, I also wanted to sort of ask is that if you said that if somebody doesn't take a book or it's rejected, then it's does that mean that your intention is not sincere? I mean, I know you said it could be karma, and then it's one out of the way, and that you have to live through that, you have to go through that. But I have had good experiences and not so good experiences. Like there's one person who was just, I remember, very, very happy when I gave him the book, the pack with the cookies and all that. He was just overwhelmed. And then there was another person, and the first person, he was not Indian. And then the second, another person who was Indian, he said, no, 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 I don't want it. He was like very emphatic, and then once a book that I'd given out got returned to me. So does that mean my intention was not sincere in giving out the books?
No,
Oh,
no, don't take all the blame on yourself like that. We keep on giving out books and different kinds of things will keep on happening. And then this is experience that you're gaining. That person was not ready. So, it's fine. It's part of the whole thing. And in the beginning, when we send people out for book distribution, we know that they don't like to ask for money because we all are coming from good backgrounds. We are not beggars by profession. So it becomes very difficult to beg. And so we will encourage and say, okay, these books are already paid for, you go and give it out, right? But then slowly, as you get more comfortable with that, then we will tell you the other nuance of asking for money. And I know, Varshana Mataji, your hand is raised, but I'm 1 minute over and I have an acceleration at work, so I need to really go there. But we'll continue this on Tuesday, okay? All right? But
Oh,
nice
sure.
reflections, yeah, nice reflections, all of you. Vancha, who's going to sing Vancha Kalpatrugesa?
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः
Thank
Hare
गोप्यवाक्यान्ति हरि
Thank you.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.
very much.
Dandavat Pranam, Facebook and Zoom. Dandavat Pranam.